We're having a little bit of a laugh about it, the irony of it. Harry Kane's first game, he got an opportunity to win a trophy and they end up getting a bit of a going over. Clearly he's not responsible for that. But just give us an indication, how has the move been received, particularly not just in the Bayern situation, but all over Germany?
Oh, it's huge. Absolutely enormous. Bayern have sold thousands of shirts already. You could see that on Saturday night, because there were people wearing Kane shirts all over the stadium, all over the city as well, actually.
Yeah.
And this has caused a real buzz. There's no doubt about it. This is enormous. It's Bayern's record signing. For the captain of England to come to the Bundesliga, I think is seen as a huge coup. But of course, it started so badly on Saturday. It was interesting because I commentated on the game and you could see Kane come out of the tunnel for the first time way before the game started. And for the fans that were actually in the stadium, as soon as they realised he'd come out, there was a massive ovation for him.
Yeah.
Serge Gnabry was stood next to him and was joking that it was for him.
Yeah.
So, but, that set the tone. And when he came on an hour or so in, the place went wild and they were 2-0 down by that stage. So disappointing in terms of the result. Worse from the performance point of view, because Bayern were really bad. And Thomas Tuchel actually apologised to Kane afterwards and said, he said, Harry will think we haven't trained in 4 weeks after that performance.
Kevin, tell me, the end of the season was unbelievable, obviously, last year in the Bundesliga. You'd argue Dortmund and Bellingham were very, very unfortunate, kind of threw it away a little bit. And they haven't started particularly well with that performance and result of the weekend. Is there any kind of pressure at all on Thomas Tuchel?
There's always pressure at Bayern, and every time you lose, it's a disaster. And if they have another poor performance on Friday, that external pressure is going to grow, because the performance in the Supercup against the title rival was appalling. And you have to give Leipzig a lot of credit for the way they played. I thought tactically they got it spot on. Danny Olmo scored a hat-trick. How nobody has taken a big swing at signing him, I've no idea, because he's one of the best players around. I think he's a sensational player. The second goal, if you haven't seen it, is well worth checking out. It's an outrageous spin in the penalty area and a great finish. So, yeah, and this has been rumbling for a while, because it's not like Tuchel went in there at the back end of last season and suddenly they were back to Bayern's usual swagger, winning 4-0. They've been pedestrian for a while.
Okay, Kev, thanks very much.
Kev.
We're heading to a little bit of a break, but I've got no doubt we'll be speaking to you in the upcoming weeks. Interesting one, that, isn't it? It's a funny one. I looked at the end of that season.
Yeah.
Dortmund, last game of the season, you got to see Andy.
And Didi said yesterday, didn't he? He said, look, Tuchel's got to liven up, got to sharpen up a bit, because he might find himself under significant pressure.
That's why I was asking the question.
Yeah.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.